Hey everyone, I'm Nicole,
And I'm Gabrielle.
and we are the hosts of the Spiritual Sisters podcast.
Join us every week as we discuss all the spiritual topics like astrology, mediumship, psychic insights, and so much more.
We are often joined by others we have met along our spiritual journey who are well versed in many of these areas.
Get ready for enlightening discussions and interviews and personal experiences that we hope will expand your mind and get you thinking outside of the box.
Whether you're a seasoned spiritual seeker or just beginning your spiritual journey, there's something here for everyone.
Check us out every Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts. See you then.
Bye!
Hi, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Soul Ecosystem Podcast. I'm your host, Anna Rising, and on this podcast, we discuss all things soul contracts. I am a soul contract reader, and I work with a modality that is commonly known as Destiny Matrix, Soul Matrix, or Matrix of Fate, and it combines Jewish mysticism, astrology, tarot, and numerology to calculate what you incarnated here to do. On today's episode, we are going to be going to thesoulecosystem.com in order to see Candace Owens' soul contract. I have a lot to say about Candace Owens and what's been happening with her as of late. I feel like with the passing of Charlie Kirk, she's come to the realization that when it comes to politics, when it comes to playing the game of Democrats versus Republicans versus whatever political party you're associated with, everybody gets screwed when you put somebody in power that doesn't care about people, just cares about money and their big overinflated ego. So I feel like I'm going to have a certain viewership in light of this soul contract episode, but I want to get things straight. I absolutely love Candace Owens. I love any woman that is as bold, as outspoken about who she is and what she believes as Candace Owens. Do I agree with everything she says? Not even remotely close, but I admire what she's done with her life up till this point, how successful she's become. Absolutely admire and love that for her. So let's take a look at her soul contract real fast so I can give you guys a rundown of what's happening for her, because I remember looking into her yearly numerology when she started speaking out about Charlie Kirk and his death and how she was like just coming for Erica Kirk. She's still coming for Erica Kirk. But I remember looking into her numerology and I'm like, do you guys know that clip from Ghost where it's like, Molly, you in danger, girl? It's that vibe. And I was like, she has to be careful with what she's saying. I think she has a lot of people that aren't her biggest fans right now because she's kind of exposing a lot of stuff that's happening. So let's take a look about So let's take a look where that lands for her. Let's take a look at how that's manifesting for her in her soul contract and what she incarnated here to do. I feel like we're going to see some numerology like 17, because 17 means star talent. It means that she was destined for the spotlight. She was destined to be on a stage. I also feel like we are going to see some 11s, because 11s are really hardworking people that push themselves farther than most people go in order to achieve their dreams. So let's see how this plays out. Let me share my screen with you guys and show you what is manifesting for her in her soul contract. So Candace Owens was born April 29th, 1989. We are going to click Generate Chart. And because I have the unlimited access to the soul contract calculator, I can just immediately go to her primary numbers. Otherwise, you can purchase your soul contract analysis over here. It's going to say choose your unlock option. You can purchase it in full, or you can purchase it by parts based on what you are most interested to see. But you guys are going to see how much information there is in the subconscious programs right now. So if you're going to buy it in parts, you're going to want to buy your subconscious programs. That's the biggest section of your soul contract. Okay, what did I say about the 11. We immediately have a number 11 in her primary number. That's her soul essence. That's who she is as a person in this incarnation. Not surprised. Not surprised at all because 11s are super strong, super tough, super like enduring, and they can tolerate a lot of crap. If you think of an athlete, if he's an 11, he's going to push himself past his breaking point. He's going to play on like swollen ankles, broken ankles. He's going to keep going even if he's in a lot of pain or she's in a lot of pain in order to get the job done, in order to get what it is that she or he wants. So I love that for her. And then when you combine it with the number 4, okay, we have a powerhouse here. All of a sudden, it makes sense. Everything I said about how I admire her for achieving what she's achieved at such a young age makes so much sense. She's got 2 of the most powerful primary numbers in her soul contract right off the bat. Now, when it comes to 4, the number 4 can be a bit of a wild card. When just compared to other numbers, 4s are wild cards. A lot of the times, people with that much power they abuse it. They have a tendency of abusing it. So it's very interesting that she has this huge platform where she has a lot of power. She has a lot of viewership, a lot of listeners. And I feel like there's been a lot of things that she's been saying that's just not helpful to the collective, not helpful to consciousness. So, very telling, I will say that. Let's take a look at her past life. Ooh. I have a theory. And I don't know if I should say this. I don't know if I should say this. As soon as I saw this past life karmic debt, I thought of Charlie Kirk. Because it feels like Charlie Kirk was a past life thing for her. So her karmic debt is a karmic debt of a life of passion. In her past life, she chose passion and physical pleasure over commitment in a stable, loving relationship. She rejected a deep emotional connection in favor of intensity, variety, and deeply hurt somebody that cared about her. In this incarnation, how does this manifest? This manifests as emotional restlessness. Even when she has love for somebody, she gets bored and seeks out excitement, adrenaline, or new experiences. She's very naturally attractive, magnetic, easily drawing other people in. Yes, 100%. But she gets restless and has a hard time feeling fulfilled. This can drain her energy and create issues at work and with her health. There is so much there. And I don't know how much of it I want to share, because I feel like that is like deeply rooted in the whole thing that's been happening with Charlie Kirk and how everybody is going off on her, saying like she's more passionate about finding his killer or his murderer or whatever than his own wife, because I feel like there was a past life connection there, guys. And I feel like this past life karmic debt that we're seeing here has something to do with it. I'm like just mentally asking my guides if I should share what I'm thinking. But I feel like in this incarnation, she chose the safe option instead of the passionate option. So that's all I'm going to say about it. Let's move on to talents and spiritual gifts. We have the number 4, very powerful. This is the gift of influence. We have the number 11, again, abundance of energy. We have 7. I love that she has a lot of 7s in her contract. 7 is the number of the conqueror. Not surprising at all. She has a lot of masculine energy. She has a lot of ambition, a lot of kind of like go-getter energy. So that makes sense. We have the number 13, death and rebirth from her mother's lineage, as well as the high priestess. which comes with the superpower of organization, and then prosperity. So following her joy brings success. So she is going to find success in doing what she loves to do. And I think she loves to talk. Talents from her paternal lineage is temptation. We also see the number 9, called the sage, and the number of the world, where she can feel anywhere. She can feel at home anywhere. Let's take a look at her destiny numbers. Let's take a look at what she came here to do. Okay. So here we go. Immediately makes so much sense. Destiny number 3. This is a destiny where somebody's supposed to embrace their femininity and embody softness, wisdom, compassion, care, generosity. I feel like this is why she's so focused, hyper focused, or at least before she was, on the message of family, on the message of gender roles and what the woman's role in the house is. Then we see the number 6. People with the 6 destiny number are here to express beauty and aesthetics in ways that go far beyond physical appearance. Their beauty is spiritual, emotional, energetic. And I feel like this is why she's so magnetic as a person. This is why people want to listen to her, because they're just drawn to that energy. There's something about the way she handles herself that just draws people in. Her purpose in this lifetime, her purpose is to cultivate balance in all areas of life, particularly within her emotional and mental well-being. She is meant to influence and guide others, but this influence must be exercised with wisdom, humility, and self-awareness. Let's read on, because this is interesting. When this destiny is neglected, feelings of isolation, financial difficulties, and a lingering sense of dissatisfaction may begin to emerge. There can be a tendency to become over-controlling, forceful, believing that everything must be managed according to their own vision. What does that say, guys? That says when she's in that state where she's like, you guys need to believe what I believe, she's in misalignment. She's in misalignment with her purpose, because she's meant to find balance in all of this. She's meant to find the in-between, not go extremely to one side or extremely to another, like from one extreme to another extreme. She is meant to find a balance in what she believes in. And if that is not maintained, if she gets into a place where she's like too hyper controlling and she's like, everybody needs to think the way I think, everybody needs to believe what I believe, she's in a place of misalignment. All right. We are going to skip the money section and go straight to the subconscious programs. We see the millionaire program. Not surprising. She was meant to come into a large amount of money in this incarnation. So she has that blessing going for her. She also has the Fairy World Writer Director program. Has she written a book, guys? Has she written a book yet? She has written a book. That's not surprising. So with this gift, people are very good with their words. People are very good with getting their ideas down on paper. They're also very imaginative. They would be very excellent writers, directors, anything in the arts, anything that has to do with writing, imagination, and creativity. Now, for the next subconscious program, we see broken lineage. The appearance of this subconscious program means that there has been a tendency throughout the ancestry to kind of gravitate away from spirituality. Sometimes, religion still exists. Sometimes adherence to religion is very strict with these kind of programs. So it doesn't necessarily mean that there's nothing happening religiously. It means spiritually, there has been a kind of descent into non-spirituality within the ancestry. We also see her having the high spiritual unification mission, which means that she's meant to unite people towards a common cause within this incarnation. Again, not surprising. She has a lot of viewers, and she was clearly meant to be some sort of influence, some sort of uniting force in order to complete her purpose, but her purpose specifically tells her to not take it too far, not be so quick to draw lines in the sand and like have such rigid beliefs as we've seen her have. I think what is happening with Charlie Kirk for her is a huge, huge wake up call and kind of the universe begging her to return back to her alignment, return back to her natural state, which is really to be in balance and have more grace, not be so rigid, not be so intense. When we move on, we see the binge program. It's pretty self explanatory, doesn't always necessarily mean addiction. It means that the person has an intense energy. So I don't think she's going to come out of that intenseness that she has anytime soon. I think that's just written in her DNA. But she is meant to kind of like know how to balance it out, know how to tone it down a little bit. But there's this intensity to her that she needs to learn how to manage, how to control, because there is such a thing as too much of a good thing. So then we see spiritual and physical beauty. I truly believe Candace Owens is a beautiful person, both inside and out. I truly believe that she is doing her best and really trying to advocate for Charlie Kirk. She might not be doing it in the best way. She might be doing it in a way that's ruffling a lot of feathers, but I do believe her heart is in the right place. Next, we see her have a mother wound, so that means that her relationship with her mom might be a sore point for her. It might not always have been the best. Maybe with time, like going into adulthood, they were able to mend bridges, but there is kind of a wound there, which creates some distrustful behavior, particularly in her relationships with women or within female-centered environments. This explains her pick-me energy, guys. This explains why she's like very passionate about being the type of woman that's like in the male-centered gaze. You know, it feels like she's always trying to suck up to the men and like carry the torch for their ideas for the patriarchy. So that's what I think is happening there. We have the prison program. Ooh, I would not be surprised if they tried to put her away. I would not be surprised if they went after her and tried to put her into prison for everything she's talking about with Charlie Kirk, with this being an inside job, coming after Kirk. I feel like if they found anything like her evading taxes or something, or like not paying all of her taxes, like as soon as they find some dirt on her, I feel like they're going to try to shut her up. They're going to try to put her away. So, ooh, okay. You know what's funny? I was actually wondering if she was going to have this program. And I think it's because I remembered from the last time I took a look at her soul contract that she had this program. I think this is why I wrote that like thread. I was like, she has to be careful because she has this program. Extreme caution, guys. Extreme caution means that there's a possibility for you to be in an accident while traveling. Doesn't matter what kind of travel necessarily. It could be a car accident. It could be a helicopter crash. Do you guys remember? I was about to say Kanye, not Kanye. Kobe. I believe Kobe had the extreme caution program. Let's see who else has this. Aaliyah, Richie Valens, Babe Ruth, Frida Kahlo, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Guys, Frida Kahlo, she was hit by a bus, right? So this is no joke. You have to be really careful with this program. I have it too, and I'm not like the best driver. So seeing that program in my contract, I'm like, okay, this means I have to be really, really careful when I drive. I have to take precautions. I have to really make sure that I'm on alert and being careful because they might do a Princess Di here. That is what that's telling me. I feel like this is giving Princess Di kind of vibes where Princess Diana was in a car accident, right? And there's been a lot of speculation about that being intentional, that being staged in order to. So then we see futility, excitement, risks, adrenaline. I'm really surprised at the amount of passion that is in her soul contract chart, not because I usually associate passion with like excitement, with like new things, and it felt like Candace Owens was much more rooted and grounded in what she believed, but it makes sense that she has all of this energy because of how passionately she believes in what she believes and how much she talks about it, how much energy she puts into it, and like she gets mad. And I love a woman that gets mad, that gets her rage out. I love that. I'm not crapping on that at all. I'm just saying I had no idea she was this passionate. Like actually passionate, not just about what she believes in, but like excited. Like she has this zest for life. I love this for her. She has this excitement risks adrenaline program, which means that she might sometimes take risks that she isn't necessarily weighing the consequences of. And it makes me wonder how much she thought this through in regards to like talking about Charlie Kirk, if this was an inside job, if this was like something that was premeditated. It makes me wonder if she's really weighed the consequences of what this could mean for her family, the risks that come along with talking about this. So that's how I feel that's manifesting for her. Inquisition. Eric Kirk also has this, and in alignment, it means that you have very strong convictions. The challenge with this program is that her strong beliefs can sometimes become rigid. So, in the same way that Candace Owens is rigid, Erica Kirk is also that way. Because I feel like we see the misalignment taking shape for both of them with this program, with their rigidity. Then we see sensitivity. Also, not surprising. Sensitivity basically means that sometimes you're not always politically correct. And by not always, I mean sometimes you ruffle feathers a lot. Sensitivity means that at your core, you're deeply sensitive. And it's not something that you're necessarily proud of. It's something that you've almost tried to like beat out of yourself. Sensitivity manifests usually as a kid that's very, very sensitive and has learned to kind of mask this sensitivity almost by like becoming on the offense where you're like, I'm going to hurt other people before they hurt me. So oftentimes this manifests as bullying in childhood. And in misalignment, it could be bullying in adulthood as well. But at their core, people with this program are very, very sensitive. It's very easy to offend them. And they try to hide that. As much as they try to hide that, I feel like it's obvious when you've hit a sore spot with them because they'll end up getting on the offense and start attacking you for coming at them. People that have this program are Justin Chambers. He plays Alex Karev in Grey's Anatomy, and Babe Ruth. And then we see the Pure Stream, which is about channeling from the divine. I feel like that comes along with a gift of intuition, which may be why Candace Owens was just extremely like bugged out and extremely like absolutely not over this whole narrative of Charlie Kirk and his assassination. We see intelligence again. I've said that she's brilliant, right? I've said that she was absolutely brilliant. She has the intelligence program. This is academic knowledge. We see this in Michael Jackson, brilliant. Katherine Heigl, Kate Walsh, Frida Kahlo, Catherine Zeta-Jones. Absolutely brilliant minds here. So the driven child kind of tells us why she chose to go into the profession that she's gone into, because driven childs are the kind of people that were kind of overlooked in childhood, and they tried really hard to get the attention, approval, validation of their parents, and in her case, it might be of her mom because she has that mother wound. And in doing so, they kind of became very performative. In misalignment, we see that this drive they have of performing can start to cross lines into control, which is a running theme when it comes to Candace Owens. I have a feeling she has a very hard time not being able to control things. I feel like it doesn't sit with her. She wants things done her way. She wants to be able to control the outcomes of situations. In relationships, this can show up as holding on too tightly, struggling to let people go. Struggling to let people go. What does that sound like? She's not going to let go of this Charlie Kirk thing. Not until she's either taken out or until she finds the answer. And I wonder if she already has. She's just afraid to say it because of the repercussions that it could bring. Then we have the public disgrace shame program. She was meant to experience some kind of falling out in the public eye in this incarnation. I don't know if this has happened for her yet. I don't know if this is going to happen in the future where like she's just like her personality is attacked and she's just canceled. Because I feel like there have been instances of things that she's said that has come back to kind of bite her. I feel like a lot of people have opinions of on what she says. So I'm not sure she's had that really falling out kind of moment yet, but it's possible that she's experienced tiny bits of energy, like bursts of energy of this program throughout her incarnation. I don't know if there's going to be a big, like whopping canceled for her. So that's something that she needs to be careful of, because if she continues in that place of misalignment where she's super rigid in her beliefs, super controlling, then yeah, I see that happening. I see her just being canceled. We have the peacemaker, we have path of liberation, burnout. Again, burnout, very passionate program. Burnout means you get really excited about the things that you love to the point that you can burn yourself out, because when you are doing what you love, you can have like this nonstop go, go, go Energizer Bunny, not sleeping or eating because you want to carry something through. You end up burning yourself out, and that could make you sick. We also have the revenge program. I don't think that's surprising, given her distaste for Erica Kirk right now. Okay, she also has the secret love program, which I told you guys either manifests as an ally or a member of the LGBTQ community. And given that she has a mother wound, I feel like if she didn't have that religious background, maybe she would be batting for the same team. But maybe because she was taught it was sinful, she's like, absolutely not. Like, I'm gonna stick to the straight and narrow path. But she's like not wired that way. She's a very passionate person. Then we see restless souls. Ooh, restless souls comes with a little bit of a doozy, because restless souls can lead to a very deep depression if you're out of alignment. When she's in alignment, she has a tremendous amount of energy. She thrives in environments where things are constantly moving and changing. She has a natural ability to spot problems, identify weak points, and notice things that others miss. The challenge with this program is that her energy can sometimes be scattered or depleted without an obvious reason. She may go through periods where she feels unmotivated, emotionally drained, or disconnected from life. This can lead to a really bad crash out, like a really bad depression, to the point where like intervention needs to be involved, you know? Then we see restoration, the inner circle. Taylor Swift has that program. Signature mark. Freeze response. Ooh. Let's see if there's something here. Once you find something you love, you tend to stick with it, whether it's a hobby, routine, favorite restaurant, or personal interest. So this is a creature of habit, guys. She's a creature of habit. And the challenge with this program is that comfort turns into stagnation. So she has a hard time really embracing the new, embracing new ideas. It explains why she's as religious and rigid as she is. She has multiple programs where that rigidity is manifesting. Lots of programs where we see that kind of really stuck in her viewpoint energy. Then we see unspoken truth, just like in Kobe Bryant's outsider. Oh, this is curious. This is curious. Guys, I'm starting to think that Candace Owens knows more than we think she knows. Like, way more. How much is she holding back from us? Because this talks about an affair, guys. This talks about an affair. This talks about an affair. Who was it with? Did she have an affair with Charlie Kirk? Because that would explain why so many people were picking up on this energy. Like, you are too passionate about this. I get that he was your friend, but like, girl, chill. He has a wife. This is very curious. I'm gonna let you guys come to your own conclusions. Please come to your own conclusions and like leave it in the comments for me to read your conclusions. But this is absolutely wild. People pleasing. I feel like that's also like a patriarchy pleasing kind of program, because she's definitely like trying to be a pick-me a little bit. She has a little bit of pick-me energy. Responsible for everyone, helping hands, choosing yourself. Yeah, that's a big lesson for her. I feel like this is going to be absolutely pivotal for her when she realizes that she needs to choose herself, that she was batting for the wrong team. Maybe like literally. I feel like there's a big aha moment that's just waiting to happen for Candace Owens, where she has to realize that nobody's coming to save her. She needs to save herself. Like, her husband's not going to save her. She needs to show up for herself. And I don't know if that's going to happen for her. She has the golden gift, guys. It explains why she's become so successful at the young age she is. I feel like she's 37 now, right? 37. If her birthday's in April, she's 37. So everything she touches turns to gold. And we see this in Avicii, we see this in Mac Miller, Angus Cloud, Amber Heard, Denzel Washington. We also see breaking toxic cycles. I wonder if that is about her husband and kind of her stance on the patriarchy and on gender roles. We also see confidentiality. So confidentiality leaves a kind of sour taste in my mouth because of what can happen with confidentiality in misalignment. In alignment, it's wonderful. People naturally trust you, like you're essentially the best secret keeper in the world. You have a very strong memory and ability to organize information. This is why she has such a quick wit, guys. This, you know who else has this? Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy has this program, and he was also absolutely brilliant. If you guys remember, I don't know if it was I don't think it was a docuseries. I don't even know what to call it, but Zac Efron was playing Ted Bundy, and I think they included in this movie that the judge told Ted Bundy that he's one of the most brilliant minds, and it is definitely because of this program, because their ability to like contain information, to remember things, to organize their thoughts and opinions, arguments is absolutely insane. And that explains why she is as strong of a personality, as strong of a influencer as she is. Definitely. And that is what I have for you guys in regards to Candace Owens and her soul contract chart. That was very telling. There was a lot in there about control, a lot in there about passion. She is way more fiery than I thought, and I already thought that she was fiery. Along with that affair program, though, I wasn't ready to like rat her out like that. I wonder if it's already happened or if it's something that's manifesting for her later on in life. I would have to take a look at her numbers and her chart to really see that, but yeah, that's what I got for you. Let me know if you guys were shocked by this. Let me know if some of the things that have come up was brand new information to you, because there was a lot there. I specifically wasn't ready for the Wandering Flame program or for the Secret Love program. I wasn't ready for that. I think that's terribly curious, and I'm wondering if anybody heard anything about that, about her either batting for the same team or her having a possible affair. If you have, leave it in the comments. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for joining me this Friday. If you wanted to purchase your own soul contract chart, you can do so by going to thesoulecosystem.com and clicking on the tab that says Soul Contract Calculator. You can choose to buy the full soul contract analysis or buy it in parts. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next Friday.